Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Crypto and Stocks TA Charts video. Today is Saturday, June 22nd, 2024, just after 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time at night. Welcome, everyone. We're going to go over crypto charts and stock charts in the later half of this video. Let's start with crypto. The quick charts watch list for this week. Total market cap. We have 4-hour moving average death crosses on almost every chart I'm going to show today. Short-term downtrend for total market cap. Bitcoin, 4-hour death cross. Short-term downtrend, price action as well. Ethereum also has a 4-hour death cross. However, the price action is symmetrical triangle. It's consolidating to the side. Binance Coin has a 4-hour death cross, symmetrical triangle, trying to hold that support price level as well. Ripple has a 4-hour moving average death cross in a short-term downtrend. Quick news for crypto. SEC Chair Gensler said that Ether ETFs should be fully approved in the USA by September 2024. The Bloomberg News rumor, however, is early July for that approval date. We'll see what happens. European stablecoin regulation laws will begin on June 30th, and many other stablecoins are being forced to convert to USDC stablecoin on exchanges. 80% of Bitcoin holders are still in profit despite the Bitcoin price dip under $65,000 to $64,000. And Bitcoin ETF outflows continue this past week with $900 million in ETF outflows. Let's start with the charts. Total crypto market cap is in a short-term downtrend. We turn on the indicators. We can see that we're holding just above 2.28 trillion. Now, I want to point out that in terms of we have not had a flash crash yet, a deep one. I'm talking about April 13 or April 30th in terms of the price being a red candle or there being a wick outside of the Bollinger Band, okay, because that's 2 standard deviations outside of the normal range. That has not happened yet. However, on the 4-hour chart, we are still death crossed. As you can see by this blue circle, the yellow 50 EMA is below the 200 EMA, and that is called a death cross for moving averages. Now, we're still in the downtrend. The only good thing that I can say is we have potential support above 2.26 trillion. So if we can hold above that level of the price, hopefully the price can bounce up to 2.35 trillion. However, we're still in this death cross, so there is bearish bias right now. If it rejects and we lose this level 2.26, again, I want to see that big flash crash, the flash dump, which on a daily would look like just one large red candle for some kind of oversold bounce potential if you're a day trader. Keep in mind, as we close out on the weekly here, that we did lose the double top area support of 2.5 trillion and that $70,000 Bitcoin that I was talking about on the YouTube video and my X watch list for several weeks now. So just understand that it's either going to symmetrical triangle or turn into a double top for the bearish cases, or if we can maintain a higher low and break to the upside over the next couple months, is the bullish case. BTC Bitcoin, the price is going sideways right now in terms of the larger symmetrical triangle in blue. The short-term trend is downtrend. 4-hour death cross as well for Bitcoin. It's just a matter of how oversold, how far down can we go. The RSI is only 45. That's not the lowest price ever. And the 1-hour is also death cross. It's not in any oversold condition right now if somebody's trying to catch some kind of bounce. Now, the 5-minute 15 charts can change, and we did hit this daily 100 EMA. So the day traders will see some volatility. It would be nice for the swing traders to find some kind of breakout, which has not happened yet. It could happen in the next couple of days if this turns into a morning star. A bullish candlestick pattern, we could see the Bitcoin price rally back up to 65,000. but I'll need to see confirmation of that price candle actually happening for me to enter this. So in terms of my position, I actually shorted Bitcoin down for several weeks, and then I closed my position a few days ago just because it's getting close to this support area. As a short, I was just playing this one swing down. So if it happens to bounce to the upside, keep in mind that I'm looking, as a swing trader or investor mindset, I'm looking for a larger price pattern. This is just the left side of the price move, and we're approaching this 100 EMA zone. So if it bounces, very good. However, just keep in mind, it could continue into a downtrend in the future. Ethereum. The big news with Ethereum right now is the potential ETF approval. And unfortunately, the price could not hold. It could not hold. After we had that upside down head and shoulders, we had a head and shoulders, which I was warning about for several weeks, weekly resistance. I also shorted Ethereum down, and I covered my short a few days ago. So that's over now for me. Now, in terms of the price, there does seem to be, this is the symmetrical triangle that I'm kind of talking about right here on the watch list. So we're actually at the symmetrical triangle support level right now, just above the 50 EMA at $3,500. If it doesn't dump the price, this could be good for Ethereum. Hopefully we'll get a nice bounce for some of the traders that have been suffering right now, and we're just gaining the higher low, trying to get this higher low, try to make a higher high to about 34.40. And if this turns to a W, maybe we'll go to the top side of this triangle as well. So two targets to the upside, 3,600 and then 35.40. Bullish signal potential, or excuse me, bullish target potential. If it goes down and rejects down for whatever reason, surprise bad news, correlation with Nasdaq crashing or something like that, then I'm looking at 34.71, 34.46, and 3400. If it happens to crash, I might short again. We shall see. Ripple is in a daily death cross. I want to really highlight this for people because sometimes people forget about death cross and they get so zoomed in looking at 5-minute 15 that we're forgetting we're in a death cross right now. There's a bearish bias on many altcoins right now. We lost symmetrical triangle, and we also are trying to establish a higher low. That's what the bulls are trying to do here on the XRP price action. So if we use a highlighter, the target to the upside would be 50 cents, higher low. Try to get this 50 cents area to 51. Now, if it's symmetrical triangles and starts going sideways, okay, we need to hold above 48 cents. On Ripple, that's what we really need to do. There was some good news for them, but if you look at weekly, this is not really a bullish signal because on the weekly, we lost a large trend line for about 2 years, 1.5 years. And so this is closing below all of that. So we need some really good news and events to happen on Bitcoin for Ripple to survive and thrive in uptrend. Okay, let's look at Solana right now. We just tapped that support area of 130 area. So if we're going to happen to bounce, the target could be 141 on the top side, and the support level is still 128. It's going sideways right now. That's good for Solana. Good. It's still in that 4-hour death cross where if we can hold that support level, hopefully we get some momentum come back into the market. And Solana could at least bounce, but that weekly higher low, just want to watch out for that on the price action. We'll close it out here. Dogecoin on the daily, it's below the 200 EMA, which is a sign of weakness right now. Lower low, lower high. This is a weekly lower low spot. It's trying to just tap that 11 cents zone that I marked last time, which is the 50 EMA and the previous level of support on the trend line. So see if we get bounce off of here. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Try to bounce up to about 15. If not, probably going to dump down to sell off to about 10 cents. Psychological. Cardano, this is what I'm talking about on the daily. The daily, we have these death crosses. This is why I sold my Cardano in the 65-cent range, which happened to be turned into a head and shoulders. Below the 200 EMA, watch out for that. This might happen on Dogecoin or SHIB. If we keep selling off, right? Death cross, consolidation, rejections, shorting down. Now, Ethereum is holding its longer term 1.5 years support level. As soon as we lose, let's say 35 cents to the downside, the shorting is going to intensify. However, if we can hold this level, maybe double bottom or at least symmetrical triangle, consolidate, try to retest the 41 on the top side if and when that happens. I do like there was a hammer candle and the shorts have been attempting to short this down, but it's not been a little bit unsuccessful. It kind of reminds me of the price action in early April. So if it continues sideways and you see these wicks on the bottom, there might be a bounce opportunity for Cardano. Shiba Inu lost that support level just like Doge, and we're going to have to redraw this now. I am seeing some support levels just like this on the downside. If I draw these two new extended trend lines on the top in yellow, if we could bounce here, there could be a little bit of attempt up to the 1922 to 1950 range. This blue line is my target. Let's open up the MACD on the bottom. Change this to MACD. We could see better. And we barely hit that 30 RSI level. It's below the 200 EMA. So what might happen? Bearish case, we bounce up and then reject to the downside. So just watch out for that. It's not over yet. Just because you have one bounce doesn't mean we're going to the moon. Bullish on Shiba Inu. So just watch out for this setup that's happening. Link also lost its 200 EMA. And there's that larger head and shoulders pattern in the yellow. We lost the neckline of about $15. So the mega target for this is negative 60%, which is way below here. It's basically $5, $6 to $5 is the target. So just want to watch out. Thankfully, there's some support right here at $13. And we could see that intermediate bounce because it's just been straight down for almost 2 weeks now. So we want to see a lower high being set, and then there's going to be another battle for the shorts. They're going to try to repeat short that down. If you have a breakdown, then definitely short this thing down $10 to $11. That's going to do it for the crypto segment. Let's move on to stocks. So today is June 22nd, 2024. No formal charts on YouTube, X, and TradingView. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a nice comment or request for next time. And subscribe if you like this content for more. Stocks, charts, watch list. S&P 500 support zone test. Potential 1 hour MACD bull momentum. Nasdaq ETF support zone test. There is, however, a 4 hour MACD down cross on the technicals. Dow Jones, continuation test of price action, higher low. 1 hour MACD, 1 hour moving average golden cross to the upside. Russell 2000, 4 hour 4 hour moving average death cross. Support zone test, bounce test. US dollar index continuation test with the 4 hour golden cross to the upside. Stocks with the earnings releases this week. Big ones, FedEx, Micron, General Mills, McCormick, Walgreens, and Nike as well. U.S. economic data, the biggest data this week, final GDP and core PCE price index. It's going to be big numbers, big numbers. Consumer confidence, manufacturing index, unemployment claims, durable goods, core durable goods, pending home sales, and consumer sentiment. These are all important data. This is factoring all into the potential interest rate cuts that's supposed to happen this year sometime. And there could be more volatility in stocks and tech, which could continue throughout June and July. It really depends on Nvidia and Apple. Apple will not launch AI technology in the EU this year due to regulatory concerns and privacy concerns. Microsoft reclaimed the top spot as the world's most valuable public company, the stock market cap. Now, if we go to SPY here, this is what I'm talking about. We have a relative high zone on the daily. The 4 hour is, we have the MACD down cross. On the 1 hour, however, I am seeing some MACD bullish continuation. Let me change this so you can see easier. You can see that it's building. So there could be a test. This one I'm talking about, support test and a bounce up. It's not completely over for stocks. Not yet. This is a weekly line in the yellow. Let's draw the daily line That's how we know. We just barely lost that support level. So if we bounce up all the way up to a retest of 548.25 on SPY, that is not impossible. And then we might see the sell off. It really depends on what happens. But this is the current setup on a Saturday that I'm watching. There is no extreme weekly candle or anything that should scare the market. Although, if you zoom out, if you start zooming out a little bit on the weekly, there is bearish divergence that's building. This is what I'm saying. It's building and it's starting. Monthly as well, there's bearish problem here, MACD and the RSI. So it's the beginning of the ending of possibly of this last rally, this last leg. So I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but just watch out for that as a warning sign in the future. Because everything has rallied almost. More than half of the big name stocks have rallied in crypto as well. So there's not much left to rally in terms of stocks, unless there's earnings catalyst. QQQ, Nasdaq ETF. So we did have this evening star bearish triple candle pattern, and that's why I shorted some tech, and gonna see how that plays out. We also had the weekly shooting star bearish candle. Now, like I always say, day traders, it's gonna be a different story if you're on a 2-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute. But we lost this trend line that I just drew. And we might see that bounce, but we might see a sell-off rejection. So that's one scenario that could happen. The RSI is reset. The MACD is down crossed, is what I'm talking about. On the hourly, there is a little bit of momentum, but let's see if the Nvidia sell-off is going to continue or not. Let's go to IWM. This should be DIA. Let's go to Dow Jones. DIA. So this is what I'm talking about. Last week I was saying there's support bounce on Dow Jones, and it happened to bounce. Now on the hourly, it actually turned into an up cross. This is what I'm saying. So there's not a perfect correlation with Dow Jones and S&P 500 right now. High, low, high, low. See if we get a higher high on Monday. It was a short-term trading week. This is a potential double bottom W. So if this is going to rally 1.76%, the actual upside target is here at 395.95. That's me being very generous with the target, being very optimistic, because if this just one day on Monday sells off, we could have the crash down to 384 is my downside target. IWM still in a golden cross uptrend, however, struggling here at the support level. And this is what I'm saying is the support test. If this happens to turn into an ascending triangle, great. But it looks like a short-term symmetrical triangle to me at the support zone test just above 195. And there could be a little bit of an upside down head and shoulders. Although this is death crossed, I am closely watching this support level. If it breaks up to the upside in the next week, this could be about 1.78% target to about $205. And if that comes down another 1.5%, that is the signal that I might really sell short harder if we start losing that on IWM. Let's put in DXY up here first so it makes sense. DXY, the US dollar currency index in asymmetrical triangle going sideways, but the price is an uptrend on a weekly. That's good. So if we have this breakout, like I was saying, beginning of the stream, beginning of the document is we have the up cross and we backtested that 200 EMA. So this could just continue bullish, US dollar. It just has to break out above 106.25 and then break this previous high of 106.33. And then the next target is 108. 107.75. So we could have that nice bullish continuation. It's building 4-hour and the daily. 1 hour's up cross, 4 hour up cross, daily up cross. I mean, that's like a triple green light for this thing to keep going up. So we'll see if that happens or not. US oil, nice little rally, but now we're approaching the evening star in the upside of the candle. So the 4-hour is up cross, but then you can see the MACD is losing momentum. So this could easily pull back down to 76.25. And then same thing with DXY, back test the 200 EMA and then bounce again. So see if that happens or not very quickly. It needs to break out definitely above $80 for people to get really excited. So I'm looking at probably 77 to 80. 77 support, 80 resistance. Natural gas starting to pull back and unfortunately lost the 26 EMA 1891 price level. Hourly's in a down cross, 4 hours still in that downtrend, but we're stopping at the 100 EMA, and there's a little bit of this support area that's building right here on the charts. So we could get an intermediate bounce and then maybe one more attempt at the short down here. Once it gets down to the $18 range, might see how I'm gonna play this, because if it gets down there, maybe I'll buy it off of support. And because it's not a clear super downtrend, the last time this happened, it actually rallied. So if I put up a Fibonacci just to give people more clarity, it's heading towards the 382 and see if it's going to actually bounce at that 50% range. Let's look at GLD. Gold here is actually consolidating to the side. I want to caution people, watch out for a potential loss of support below 213. If that happens, probably going straight down to 206. On the 4 hour, we're holding above this short-term support zone. It's right at support. So if we lose support, it's probably going to sell off even more. Silver ETF, you could see it's getting rejected down from this trend line multiple times. That's why, to me, this is kind of a sell signal. In my opinion, it's a little late. This happened a week ago, but it's in the middle here, trying to go down to 26. But if I'm very cautious and conservative because it's in the middle of the move, I might not want to touch it. It's better to short things down from a topside rejection, and I want to buy things from a bottom. So if it's in the middle, I can just wait on it. I don't have to do anything for silver, personally, on my own trades. Copper, rejection down. We'll know we'll have the bounce once we close above $28, which has not happened. So you can see this. If I hide everything, it's in a clear uptrend on the left side. There is that head and shoulders blow off top pattern. And now there is the larger head and shoulders risk. We had this V-shaped rejection, and it looks like it just got rejected down 2 days ago. So downside target 27 and 26. This is the 618, 26. Let's put a flag there, because if it actually, let's do one better. Let's put an alert right in this 618 zone. And let's put a 618 bounce entry alert right there. And so try to catch that trade when that happens. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm going slower so people can understand what I'm saying, but the video goes longer. So let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft stocks has been in a rally. The tech has been in an uptrend. Right, we had this hammer candle. This is what I called on my watch list last time. But now that we're in the middle of this move, I mean, it's all about 4 hour, 1 hour charts in terms of trending. So if this happens to trend, one could say it's rejected down from that, but if we use the latest price action as a pivot point, bouncing off of 445, my target's still 455 on Microsoft. This is not any extreme. It is not extreme yet. Maybe one more rally, and then we'll get some bearish divergence, and then it'll pull back. So I could see something like this happening on Microsoft. Nothing to really worry about yet, unless the market, Nvidia triggers a massive crash. Let's go to Nvidia next. So a lot of people have been asking on the internet, what's going on with the Nvidia? This is a weekly chart, and this is our first kind of bearish piercing candle. Attempted to hit the 140 and just got rejected down from there. Monthly, if we close out with more sell-off, this could be a monthly shooting star in Nvidia, which would be bad. On the weekly, I want to point out to people that there has been bearish momentum and bearish divergence building on Nvidia. It's just a matter of where is this top? Where is there too much supply? Because there is that bearish divergence that's been building this entire month. Daily, we're actually just testing the 12 EMA support above 125. We lose 125 Monday morning, overnight, this thing, Nvidia could gap down to 116 or 104. Now, options traders are going to be really happy about that, put options traders. But if you're investing in this, you just want to be careful we're not accidentally buying a top, right? So this is why SPY and QQQ is correlated. Nvidia also has this 1 hour MACD and this oversold RSI. That's why this is like the final line in the sand for me, $125. We lose 125, I'm going to short this thing even harder. I'm already in a short on Nvidia. So just full transparency, right? It's losing momentum on the daily. Weekly had that sell off. So I'm trying to short this thing down to like 106. If it's even going to get there. It might not though. This is like the world's hottest stock right now. So I'm just playing this as a technical setup play. Because this kind of happened. I want to spend a little bit more time on Nvidia. If we think about this, turn off everything, go all the way back. The last time we had, I have to turn the drawings on. The last time we had this type of action was back in 2019. So if we study the price, 2019, we bottomed out right here. 2022, we basically bottomed out. Now, how far did it go from bottom to top? It went about 1,000%. From the breakout spot, it went about 600%. So from bottom to top, 2022 till now, how much are we up? 1,100%. How much from the breakout are we up? 600%. It's like the exact same cycle is happening again on Nvidia. It doesn't matter what the price is to me. This is significant to me. That's including the pandemic as well. So that's why I started shorting Nvidia, because I'm like, this might be the top for now. Might be the top. Now, it could be right here, like this copy paste. Maybe another head and shoulders will happen, which means if that happens on Nvidia, possible crash down to like 86, which is ridiculous. It'll probably crash down to like 100 if that happens. Maybe a bounce into earnings. If earnings are bad in any way, then sell off, right? So that could happen. Or double top is what I'm looking for. Or just V-shape, inverse recovery. Something like that. Those are three scenarios I'm looking for. However, if we break above 140, right? If this happens to be like just a temporary dip like this, and then we keep going up to 200 Nvidia, then I'm going to close my short out, take profit, and then long the stock if I'm trying to trade short term. But just keep in mind, the long term anti-FOMO, the no FOMO mentality is if I'm an investor and I see we're repeating the same 1,000% cycle on Nvidia, I'm looking to sell. I'm looking to take profit. I'm looking to sell. Warren Buffett style, right? The entry was here, not here, if I'm looking for value. So just want to really remind people of that on Nvidia. Okay, Apple, let's close out the last couple stocks here. I'll go faster. So Apple, we are in a golden cross. That's very good, very good. Pulling back, however, 3-4 days down to the 206 area. And there's probably going to be some kind of day trade oversold bounce one of these mornings. So the hourly is already looking like it wants to do that a little bit. Maybe it's going to touch or pierce 206 or 205. And then we get some relief little bounce, right? Low, high, low, high, low, high. Type of stair step, low, high, lower, low, lower, high, 206, and then maybe one more dump. But just be careful because we're not high RSI anymore. It's low RSI, so the algos are looking to buy support whenever that happens. And we can use Bollinger Bands on shorter time frames to know what's going on, if it's extreme or not. Throughout the day, Amazon also in the golden cross on the weekly. That's good, starting to consolidate a little bit, trying to just bounce off the support level that I was talking about last time. And remember in my Twitter X watch list, I was saying, you know, in SPY and QQQ, watch for these hammer. And then what happened? We rallied. There was one more trade attempt. So I closed out whatever trades I was doing because I'm watching for the next play. Now, if this turns out to break out, then very good for Amazon. Very good. This target could go about 7% to the upside. It's just the stock market is mixed right now, 200 target. Some stocks want to go up. Some stocks are too overbought and wants to go down. So not every stock is having the same analysis right now on charts. So if we pull back, if it happens to pull back, breakout, maybe retest this is one scenario. If we reject tomorrow or 2 days from now, like 182 is my downside target. Meta as well, starting to consolidate to the side. It's shaping up to turn into a larger, longer term symmetrical triangle, and we got rejected down for about 5 days, so the downside target's 480. If we have a breakdown below that, I'm looking to short Meta. If it happens to break out, then I'm looking to long Meta. It's very simple. When you get symmetrical triangles, just either if it goes up or goes down, I'm going to play that direction. The weekly, however, a little bit of this shooting star. It's not quite perfect, but there was resistance rejection below 508. Last one, Tesla. Tesla's in the death cross, unfortunately, and starting to go sideways right now. This symmetrical triangle, this is really choppy for me. You can see this same triangle here, very choppy. Had a flush down and then a rally. So a little bit too indecisive here in terms of the setups. I have to back out in terms of the longer term setup. I do not think this is upside down head and shoulders anymore. It's taking too long for this to play out in the short term. So it's just basically now it's turning into a wedge going sideways. So if Tesla's going to break out, it's got to break out above 187.63. Watch out if that rejects down. That could be a nice short opportunity down to 172, or if somebody's doing options or something like that. But if we're looking at weekly, it is holding above that 12 EMA weekly. So there's some life in Tesla. There's some life. If you look at the long term, maybe this 6 months from now, right? Because we've had these consolidation crash types of plays. Crash, bounce. If you go sideways, it's good. So maybe the upside target could eventually hit $200 long term from now. But the only good thing I can tell people is the 4-hour is up cross. That's why it's a little bit more bullish than if somebody asked me a week ago when he was completely sideways. We're actually seeing a little bit of signs of life coming into Tesla. So as long as this 4-hour holds, then the daily will hold, and then the weekly we might eventually hit that 200 target. But I'm saying it's really up to the tech what happens this week. Nvidia sell-off is probably going to crash SPY for a week. So just watch out for that. Thank you for watching this longer video today. If you have a stock chart request or a question, just let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, if you've learned something, go ahead and like the video and click subscribe or share the video with your friends and on social media. And I hope you have a nice trading week. I'll see you in the next one.